So I've had a pretty intense psychic 24 hours. I wonder if anyone else had any of this happen. And I know I said in a recent video, you know, we're really all kind of going through our own individual parts of this journey. But the more I do this as a group for this following here, for the 4 a.m. club, the more I'm seeing like we're all variations of the same theme. And so many of us are doing the exact same things. So it started last night as I was going to sleep. Now, pretty much every single night, my spirit team will come in and help me do some energy work. You know, I ground, I clear, I get whatever upgrades and healing I need from my guides, and I kind of fall asleep in that energy. It's really lovely. Sometimes it's a little more intense. Last night was one of those nights to where it began with my heart chakra opening, because there's a portal in our heart chakras. We are portals. Check my friend Paula Taylor Energy for her information on that. In particular, I've been working on my portal as part of my work with my divine counterpart, the Hero Scamos. That's another story. So I felt that portal open up and all this energy come in, and the energy was really strong. And so I started to kind of fall asleep with it. And I was in that lucid state where I was not asleep, not awake, you know, seeing lots of things, sort of a blur of things as they were clearing different things. And then what would happen is my head would jerk to the left. Like it was like a very distinct swipe left. And then it would sort of jerk me into more wakefulness. And then a new energy would come in and it would be really intense and kind of lull me in that half awake, half asleep. And then again, jerk to the left. And so what it felt like to me is I was getting a very hyper-specific clearing that got into some very specific buried territory to clear some stuff up. And it was like, when it was done, just pop. And then immediately after that second pop, I went into a past life memory, something I didn't know about this life, had no idea, but I went into the moment of death. Fun, because that's always what I do. When I'm having past life memories, it's never like, remember that great time? It's like, and now you die. But this was new for me. I didn't know about this life. In this life, I was floating in the ocean, and then I looked down into the water and I could see a sunken battleship. And the water was shallow enough that I could see it, but it was the ocean and it was a battleship. And it wasn't, you know, olden days pirate ship. It was new-ish. I mean, it's giving Pearl Harbor vibes, but I couldn't tell you if that's specifically what it was. And so as I'm floating in this water, what came next were the emotions. And it was every terrible emotion you can imagine. Rage, terror, fury, despair, grief, just this flood of emotions. And it was so intense that I couldn't even stay with the emotional experience. I couldn't even stay with it. I pulled myself out of it. It was too intense. I was like, I can't, I'm done, I can't. And so again, as I was pulling myself out of that, jerk, over. So that was a lot. So then I fell asleep almost immediately after that and had some really intense processing dreams and huge symbolism of, you know, childhood desires and emotional depths and, you know, the roles that we wear through various phases of our lives. Just all these really big, important, loud, archetypal messages. And it feels like, you know, with whatever major clearing happened last night. And I do want to make something clear, you know, clearing happens in a moment like that. When you're doing energy work, when you have, you know, a spiritual experience, when clearing happens in the moment, but that's because of all the prep work we're doing to lead up to it. All the expansion and wading through and processing, like all of that stuff gets you to the point where the energy can just be whisked away. So having that dream really showed me how those past life experiences, the one that I was shown, the other things that were being cleared, they played into the archetypal experiences of this life, how it affected me during formative times in my life. So I was just today kind of sitting in personal space, really processing all of that. You got to take time to integrate these lessons. If we're always racing on to the next, we would never really fully integrate, get the lesson, get that benefit, and move on with it as a part of us. So then, I don't know if you saw my stories today, my husband put together a new chair for our bedroom, and I was so excited. I was all ready to like cuddle up and read a book, but instead I felt guided to meditate. So I sat down in the chair. Before I could even really formally like start to meditate, it was just the intention, I was hit with the most intense flood of download energy. It was so strong. It was in my crown and my third eye. It was so strong, I felt drunk. You know, that really heady, woozy energy. And unfortunately, I had too much today. I couldn't sit too long in the energy, and I didn't have time. And you can see, like, I'm in my car, I'm out and about. I didn't have time to really tune in with my guides and be like, what? What was that? But the fact that this is happening, like, any one of these things is big. Any one of these things, a past life memory, a big activation, you know, clearing these things, this kind of new thing, any one of these things might be the result of weeks or months of work. This is all in 24 hours that this happened, less than 24 hours that this happened. And I'm sharing this because, again, we're all on our individual journey. I don't want anyone to feel bad if, like, oh, shucks, I didn't get that. That's okay. But to let you guys know, we're all doing this level of work, whether we're conscious of it, whether we feel it or not. This is what this lifetime is about. Those of us who are awake and aware during this lifetime, we are handling lifetimes worth of stuff. And we're trying to not only heal it, we're integrating it to make those lessons a part of our lives. So, like, I know we're all spun out with politics and with everything else, but, like, really the intensity we feel, it's bigger than that. It's about the healing, the clearing, and the integration of the totality of who we are. I mean, what? Like, this is big. It is big. It's big. So I wanted to share, in case y'all have been feeling a lot, woozy, heart stuff, you know, sometimes heart activations, because I've had heart shock. I've been doing this kind of portal heart work for years. But when I was new to it, it felt like a panic, like anxiety, like a flutter, a tension. So just be aware of, like, the different physical sensations you're having right now. If they come and go relatively quickly and your body goes back to normal, no lasting effects, it's likely energy. I mean, I don't want to tell you your business. See a doctor if you need to. But if you're feeling weird out of nowhere and then it goes away, yeah, there's a lot of energetic stuff happening. So Ascension is no joke. It's a lot. We're all doing the most. We're doing the most. So if you're feeling weird this weekend, yes, you're right on time.